hate. Can we hear each other right now? Or you just hear
Yeah,
me?
we can.
Oh,
And
okay.
and
I
it's
heard you breathe.
recording it too. You're supposed to be quiet.
No, I make the rules.
I make the rules. Oh, hey guys, welcome to the show. Well, today we got some good stuff to talk about. It's gonna be funny. This is a fun topic. Room mayhem, as Roomie just gave that moniker out. Very
At
smart,
the
Roomie.
wire, and I heard no laughter, which I was like, what is that about?
You also said room hate, which I'm like,
Well,
confirm
that's what I
that.
said. I want to make a movie. Me and you,
Yeah,
room
room
hate,
hate.
and it's about two roomies that don't get along at the beginning, but then it turns into a pun.
A man pun. Uh,
This is why you have to watch on YouTube, because Rumi just grabbed his luxurious, lovely, masculine little man bun on top of his head when he said man bun. Oh,
Follow
man.
us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all the other ones at Launchpad Pod on our website, launchpadpod.com, and on YouTube, where 4 of you watch our videos. Thanks. Appreciate you guys. You guys rock. I mean, it really is fun that people still listen, and we really do appreciate it. And we're having a great time because guess what, Roomie?
What?
This is the 300th episode of the
Is it
Launchpad
really?
Podcast. Yes, it's going to be the 300th episode. Can you believe
wow!
it?
I'm glad we prepared and made a big deal and really reached deep into our topic file for a special episode.
That's not what we do, Ruby. We wing it and we land it. We're the guys you want on your plane when they're like, any pilots? And we're like, no, but you're a
No,
couple of
but
podcasters. And we know how to make a great transition.
yeah.
So,
Well, I guess actually, Room Mayhem is a good one because we're the Roomies. So the 300th episode, that's pretty fun. That's exciting. When Spawn
yeah.
turned 300 issues old, it was a big deal, and I remember being excited just to see that they'd hit 300. I no longer read that book, but still, I was like, oh, good for them. And probably Todd McFarlane is thinking the same about us.
You remember when Spawn hit 100?
I do. That was a big deal, and I was reading it then.
He turned into an angel. And after that, I was like, well, mission accomplished. I don't need to read anymore, and never read another issue.
Every Spawn, I like the idea of Spawn so badly and so goodly, but it's the same issue every issue. The same, literally, and I don't mean the same topics and the same ups and downs issues. I mean it's literally the same issue every time. It's just slightly different locale, sometimes slightly different characters, but it's the same thing.
This is my same argument when you're talking about something like the post-apocalypse. The post-apocalypse as a genre tries to fix itself, but then the second it achieves its goal, it's no longer the genre you sat down to watch. Now it's a western. Now it's Little
Right.
House on the Prairie. Now it's society's coming back together. Boo! We tuned in for post-apocalypse, so you keep having to destroy your little town to get back to the genre that you set out to make.
Yeah,
Spawn
that's true.
is the same thing. He's a hell spawn who's trying to better himself and get out of hell. The second he starts like doing that, people are like, boo, I tuned in for a hell spawn. And like he always has to go back to his roots.
Yeah, I think that is actually a really smart argument for that.
I mean, we should probably get on with the show before we get too sidetracked.
I was gonna say, like, we could do talk about a seamless transition.
Ignition
Let's
sequence
jam.
start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Fuck, I love our theme song, dude.
I think the same thing, and I was just dancing to it, and I like our little video.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys aren't watching the YouTube, watch the YouTube. Aaron does this. I mean, our background is awesome. Our logo is awesome. And we have this really cool video that he found and put together all these awesome Rocketeer Launchpad images. It's very on brand, and I like it. Good
It's
job,
on
Bruce.
brand, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I rock the brand. A couple of announcements we should have probably done before we started the show, but fuck it. San Diego Comic-Con is vastly approaching, and we have Dos Panelos. It's probably not how you say it, but we have 2 panels, man. One for the 3rd year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It is Ghostface Killer Trivia Part 3. It's going to be off the chain, out of control. Ghostface is going to call into the show and deliver some of the best horror trivia you've ever heard. It's going to be really hard. We're going to try and stump you. There will be prizes. The past two years, it's been packed. Really fun. We also
We have fantastic prizes, which
Yeah.
just this weekend at Monster Palooza, I started hustling. So I could already tell you we are going to get some fun stuff from some big vendors, including some like decent sized names. It's not just like Joe's Comic Book Shop. You'll recognize some of these names. You'll recognize some of these items. I'm not going to say them until they're in my hands.
Right. Also, shout out to Joe's Comic Shop. We didn't mean any disrespect.
Please give us free stuff.
yeah. And then we also have a new panel debuting at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and it is going to be freaking cool. It is the Blades and Blasters bracket, where Roomie and I are going to run through a March Madness style weapons bracket, where the audience is going to help us pick what weapons and blades and famous pulp culture items of destruction, if pitted against each other, would win, and one will be crowned king, and none of you will be happy. Sorry, I just am going to call that right now. Whatever we pick, you're going to be pissed off because somebody's going to be like, no, and I can't wait. I am honestly excited for how cranky people are going to be because of these decisions.
I'm a little bit more optimistic than that. I think it'll be fun. Ruby and I have some good ideas and also need to cultivate those ideas a bit and figure out exactly how these brackets are going to work. I think it's going to look more flawless than it actually is, I think, but it's going to be fun. It's a really cool idea. Talk about the best pop culture weapons and pit them against each other and see what we as, I guess, a group think is the best one, or at least which one beats which one at what point. It's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and given our history of other Comic-Con panels, specifically Ghostface, you and I are pretty good at crowd. I don't want to say crowd pleasing, but at crowd involving. We've done some really fun stuff with crowds, and I love our horror trivia. Everyone gets into it. It's a lot of fun. I still got to say,
the one at LA Comic-Con was sick.
Yeah, it was really. We have some amazing memories of standing on that stage and watching you guys and joking with you guys and teasing with you guys. I got to say, though, even though we have done Ghostface like 4 or 5 times now, one of my favorite panel memories with you, dude, was opening up a brand new 1988 Dinosaurs Attacks case of wax-wrapped cards and giving everyone in attendance a brand new pack of Dinosaurs Attacks cards, which they opened, and then we were like, well, trade with the people next to you. And everyone was getting out of their seats and trading, and someone even came up to the stage and was trading with the creator of the card series. How fucking cool is that, right?
So cool. And also remember, you degenerates were just like, I think we should eat the and like
Yeah.
they were already eating the gum before anybody, and then they did it, and I was like, well, I can't let the fans do it if I'm not going to do it. And I ate the gum too. It tasted like fucking basement, dog. That was nasty.
I cracked apart like glass, and I actually think actual glass would have been more forgiving as your teeth crunched through it.
I honestly agree. 100%. I think it would have been better for me to have just eaten glass.
It was a lot of fun, but we love this, and part of why we do this show is because of hearing from you guys and getting ideas from you guys and hearing your thoughts about our ideas is always really fun. So we're very excited to do another panel in front of and with you guys, and again, we get to to talk with people and have people participate and kind of help us guide the panel. And it's fun from a creative standpoint because we don't know where it's going to go. We're not reading from a script, and our fans are awesome, and we all love the same nerdy shit. So to be able to like all joke and talk and argue about it is awesome. So we will see you at San Diego Comic-Con. It is July 23rd to 27th. Both of our panels will be on Friday, July 25th. So make sure whatever hotel dates you're looking at, you are there for that Friday. The panel, the Blades and Blasters should be at 5, and the Ghostface Killer Trivia should be at 9. But we will confirm that once Comic-Con confirms with us and we get a little closer. But it's going to be baller like it always is. You know that the Handsome Boys will be there with some cool, fun surprises in store as well. It's going to be fun, though. I'm already starting to get psyched about it.
I'm
watching
psyched. Yeah.
watching our little our logo and our song and everything. It makes me miss my roomie.
Do you want to see something really exciting? I don't think I've ever debuted this. I think 2020. This is at that same panel. Remember, the creator of Dinosaurs Attacks drew a preview card for us.
Yes, I do. I do remember that.
And I am
It
putting
was
it up on the
Gary
YouTube.
Gary
Yeah.
Girani, who was the creator of a lot of different card series. That is, we gotta print that. We have to make a lot of shit. We should make a poster. We should make a card. We should make a shirt.
Yeah, this is my rendition of this card. I photoshopped this together and put it into a bitchin' card. It says leveling a library, and it's a picture of a dinosaur, like a prehistoric frog monster busting through the wall of a library, eating all the panelists that were on our panel.
And for those of you who don't know this series, Dinosaurs Attacks is a card series that Topps made in the 80s.
Yep.
It was following the success of Mars Attacks, and it's just dinosaurs devouring people in the most graphic ways possible. Scientifically inaccurate, all over the place. Roomie and I did a panel 2 or 3 years ago. It was me, Roomie. It was the creator of the card series, Gary Girani, who was the actual creator and one of the sketch artists of almost every single card in the series. And we also had an actual paleontologist, like a actual doctor, on the panel telling us what was scientifically inaccurate about each of these cards that we were talking about. It was super cool.
It was so funny.
And then we took crowd suggestions, and Gary Girani, the creator of the series, sketched a card based on ideas that were popping up from the crowd, and it was in a library, and someone said with a no talking sign behind a dinosaur chomping on people. And my boy Roomie here put that card together. It's so awesome.
I'm really proud of that, man. It turned out great.
It's so awesome.
It turned out great. I'm going to throw up the sketch too. Here's the sketch. Here's the original sketch that he did and signed. I think
they were like, yeah, that's right. They said there's a woman reading and she doesn't realize someone's being mauled in the background. There's a sign that says no talking.
And then I photoshopped that into the missing card from the final blast of.
I love it.
Dinosaurs
And it's funny, guys. Before we started recording just now, me and Roomie each commiserated for a minute. We were like, oh, it's been a hard week. It's been a hard day. And like, shit is fucking hard. This year is kicking my ass. But I look at something like that and it just makes my day. And I think
we've done cool shit.
If I could go back to 6-year-old Matt and be like, dude, I'm you from the future. The card series that you're holding in your hand, you're going to stand in front of like 100 people with the creator of that card series, joke about it, give people in the future these cards, and create your own card with that guy. I don't know who's more excited about that, 40-year-old Matt or 6-year-old Matt, you know?
Right?
I think it's the same feeling, right?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Hey, that cover artist from that Batman Dracula thing, he's going to draw a picture of you one day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kelly Jones, the cover artist of Batman Red Rain, as well as all of the Nightfall, Night Quest stuff with Bane breaking Batman's back.
Yeah.
I actually have original art of him, not that he drew of Batman, but that he drew of me and Roomie that I made into a shirt from Roomie. And I'm still proud of that shirt, even if you take the famous names out of it. I love that shirt.
Dope. It's all like artists that we've had on the show and friends of the show and our friend Steve drawing pictures of us doing
Yeah.
a handshake. Fuck yeah. See, 300th episode. What a win. We were roomies back in, not even in college, like after college.
No.
When I first moved out to LA, you had been out there maybe a year or two, and I ran into, and you're like, my current roommate is bailing, being a total loser. I need a cool roomie. And I was like, I'm down, dog.
I'm
And
a cool roomie.
I'm a cool roomie. And I moved in, and the launch pad was born. It's called the launch pad because we were like, we want a cool pad name. We want a cool nickname for our place. And we were what doofuses to give your own pad a name, but well, we were like the Casbah or something, and the launch pad was the thing.
Roomie said, like the Casbah, and I was like, we're not doing the Casbah. And the funniest thing is we never like called it that to most people, and certainly nobody ever told us that they were coming to the launch pad. But that's how we think about it, and that's what named the show after.
People did call us the Rocketeers, though, because they would buy us Rocketeer stuff. That
Yeah,
was
they
a
bought us
thing that was
lot.
happening.
A lot of people bought us Rocketeer shit.
Yeah, we did have a lot of Rocketeer stuff, which was fun. The
I
poster,
literally had to break hearts to get Roomie Rocketeer posters. Yeah.
this poster, yeah, an ex-girlfriend hooked it up.
She wasn't an ex when it happened, but
No,
Yeah.
but she gave, she did she give me the poster? Was she buying me presents at that point?
no.
She bought
I think
us-
she did
yeah.
buy. She would get us dinner, like she'd send us dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she would get us into places.
Super cool. Still love the poster. It's so dope. It's right behind me, man. It's on my
Mhm.
wall, and people comment on this poster a lot. Like when I talk to people, and they're like, "Whoa, sick Freddy Krueger! Whoa, sick Jason Voorhees!" But most people are like, "That is an awesome Rocketeer poster. That movie is so underrated." I'm like, "It's actually not. It's actually kind of long and slow, but
The poster is the coolest part of the entire Rocketeer film.
there's the ending is cool." And the beginning is cool, but there's a whole thing in the middle that's a little slow and boring. Not gonna lie. I mean,
It's a lot for a movie about a fucking rocket strapped to a dude's back. It's pretty slow.
yeah. Sorry, Disney. But as roommates, the idea that we're trying to transition to is this idea: what if other characters in pulp culture were roommates, or at least locked in a room together? What would happen? How would that go? We're going to discuss it. This is an idea that Matt popped up with today. Really well planned.
What do you want to talk about on tonight's episode? Because we do plan it, and you could usually tell, I guess.
I was like, you want to talk about smelly shit? And you're like, nah. What about roommates?
Smell-o-vision? No. What about if two random characters were locked in a room together?
Done so easy. You want to kick it off, buddy?
Yeah, I'll kick it off in the order in which I did it. The first one is Rick Sanchez and Bert from Sesame Street.
Oh no.
Like I know it's not this is not necessarily a contest. It's not necessarily a fight. It's not necessarily a lovemaking session. It's just if two characters in a room, what would that be like? And I know who's going to be the stronger personality in this, but God, this is a negative room, isn't it? What a degrading, like just buzzkill room this would be, right?
They're just so passive aggressive. So passive aggressive. Both of them are like, don't touch my shit. Like, don't touch my quantum physics portal shit. Don't touch my science shit. Don't touch my paper clips. Don't touch my pigeon book. Don't touch my binoculars. Don't touch my tap dancing shoes. And everybody, they're hyper anal retentive, hyper cleanly, like super neat freaks, but in the opposite way. Like Bert's sitting here like organizing the cups in like height order, and Rick's like, fuck that, put the cups in reverse height order, and they just irk each other, but don't fight. But here's the creepiest thing. here's the most fucked up thing about this whole scenario. Rick can see the puppeteer holding Bert up.
I didn't think of it. Bert is kind of like two people, right?
Rick Sanchez is like, what are you doing, dude? And there's a guy crawling around on the floor with a puppet on his hand, talking to him the whole time, never coming out of character. And Rick is always trying to get him to break character. Always. So like when Bert's talking to him, like he's talking to the guy on the floor. The guy on the floor will not acknowledge him, but it's just a dude like lying on the floor, bent underneath a table, squished into weird places. And Rick Sanchez periodically acknowledges the puppeteer, to the chagrin of the puppeteer.
I love that. I also love, if you imagine any conversation that they have, Rick's language is so graphic and vulgar, and Bert's, although extremely negative, would not be. So literally the way that they would talk would be abrasive to each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
it wouldn't even be the content; it would be the actual syntax of sentences. The word choice would be like sandpaper on each other's ears, right?
Oh my gosh. Just incredible.
I didn't even think of this part until we had already started talking about it.
Just incredible.
With both of them in there, you have Bert and Rick. You still only have one full set of eyebrows, right? You only have two eyebrows.
Oh my God. And every now and then, like once in a blue moon, he breaks Bert down and like gets him drunk or something, or like takes him on an adventure, and they have like a moment, like the same amount of times him and Jerry have like a cool,
I was gonna say like
cool moment, like him and Bert are in the spaceship doing something fun, going to Blitz and Chips or something, or like Bert takes him to this really stuffy joint in New York, and Rick's like, it's actually pretty cool. I'm down. I like this.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
It's a stuffy bar. There they read books and they collect spoons, and there's all sorts of spoons on the wall. And Rick's like, that's dumb. And then he shows up and he's like, I didn't know there's so many spoons. Wow, these spoons are great. Like, oh my God. I would watch it right now. I mean,
right? Yeah, I would too. Make it a scene or make it a show. I'd watch either.
I love it. All right. This could be the whole episode, just coming up with scenarios. I'm going to come back to I love it so much. Okay. Not as good, but I think an equally great place to start. Two rich bitch billionaire fuckboys. I got Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne in the same room where Bruce Wayne's trying to pretend that he's not actually Batman either. So he's just being a rich.
But is it blatantly apparent that he is?
100%. Like Tony Stark knows. Yeah. Like he's like,
like his phone receiver is still shaped like a bat.
Yeah. Like he pulls out his wallet, like they're like to like buy something. He's like, no, dinner's on me. He's like, is that a bat credit card? Is that a Batman credit card? Is that what you bought the bat copter wick? Is that what you put the shark spray on? You know, because. Much like Rick Sanchez, Tony Stark is an asshole.
That's hysterical. That would be that has sitcom written all over it. Right? And I love the idea that each suspects the other is the other superhero, and they're always trying to catch each other and prove it.
Yep.
But the other person is just that one hair ahead at any given moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't fully prove it. Knows damn well, just can't prove it, you know? And keep making like little puns to each other and stuff.
The bat signal appears in the sky. Bruce Wayne turns to go to the door, reach for the secret book or whatever that opens into the Batcave, and all of a sudden, knock, 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 knock. Hey, buddy, do you see bat signals in the sky? Means Batman's going to go out tonight. Where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you up to? You want to
Yeah.
hang? You want
Hey,
to eat some
Bruce.
burritos? Yeah, like
Bruce,
hey, I got.
let's look out the window and wait for Batman, okay? Just stand right next to me. No, actually, you stand in front of me. I'll look over you.
I brought some popcorn and microwave burritos. You want to just chill and wait for Batman? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't? Don't you want to meet Batman? I bet he's cool. I bet he's cooler than you, dog.
Hey, Tony. I see some grease stains on your hands, and I heard a lot of mechanic noises in the garage last night, but we don't have a car. What were you doing out there, bud?
Who are you talking
Also,
to? Is it a
oddly enough, Fin Fang Foom was defeated this morning. Where were you?
I heard you talking to yourself, but it sounded like you were talking to a $1 billion AI robot. We don't have that in our house, do you? I'm pretty sure.
No. Jarvis, make Jarvis the actual Avengers butler, because then you can have Alfred and Jarvis also there, and either they can also be competing, or they're like cool with each other and they keep like rolling their eyes about their masters.
Oh, these guys. Oh, and they both live in this like new mansion, and they're both like adding on all these like secret tunnels, and like Batman pulls the grandfather clock and like goes down the slide, and it goes into that space in the cave where the slide's like zipping around, but then suddenly he sees like Tony Stark going on a different slide, and they're like, oh.
Yeah. I just like Batman going down the bat pole, and he gets halfway down, and Tony Stark is like in a hover chair, and he's like, "Where are you going, Bruce?" And Bruce is like, "Nowhere." And he's like, "Well, you're going down the bat pole." And he's like, "The what pole? Oh, this is just my regular pole, and I'm not going down. I'm going up." And then Bruce has to climb back up to save face so that he doesn't go to the Batcave.
Bruce Wayne's in the Batcave, and then all of a sudden he hears and like the wall collapses, and Tony Stark's just like, oops. I was just playing with my new jackhammer, and what's going on in here? And then
I love it.
They have to like lie to each other about being like billionaire playboys. Like, what'd you do last night? I went to the opera and hung out with supermodels. It's like, what about you? Same, but a different opera, like not the opera.
It's like the Canadian girlfriend thing, but for rich superheroes. Like I went to a Major League Baseball game and I owned the team, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what team?" The Gotham Bats.
There's an interesting comic there, though.
Who'd they play?
The Cats? Damn it. Here's an interesting comic idea, though. It's an escort service, but you're not a prostitute. It's just to be superheroes' girlfriends and alibis. To like,
oh, okay.
To like, you don't actually hook up with them at all. They're just there to show up in places and be like, I was with Bruce Wayne all week. I'm Bruce Wayne's girlfriend. But then like the second he's like, I gotta go, it's like, gotcha, fine, bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go do whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Zero emotional attachment, just hired to be there as an escort to like be your fake girlfriend to add legitimacy to your billionaire playboy facade.
I would love to make the like late night infomercial about that. And it was like, do you like big screen TVs? I mean, big screen TVs. Have you ever seen those fireplaces that could fit a car inside of it? Would you like to stand in front of one of those, preferably by yourself? Well, have we got an opportunity for you? Oh, man, that would be hysterical. You're not getting paid, but you literally can just hang out in a mansion or go on a trip to the Bahamas, take a bunch of selfies that we will then computer generate, composite a rich guy into. All you have to do is say you were with him all weekend.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Free trip to the Bahamas. I love that.
Oh,
I also just love Jarvis and Alfred like giving each other looks and raising an eyebrow, you know? And like Alfred sees that like Batman's cape is sticking out of the closet, and Jarvis goes over and closes the closet the rest of the way and winks. He's like, It's more funny to fuck with Tony. Let me help you hide that identity. How funny would that be if you're like, Tony's like, Bruce, let's go look out the window because I see the bat signal. And outside is clearly the older, facial haired Alfred in the oversized bat suit walking, and it doesn't fit him at all. And Bruce is like, well, that's proof. We now have both seen Batman.
Batman's like, Tony, we need to talk about your friend, Thornius. He keeps showing up and smashing shit and drinking all the beers. and Bruce Banner. I don't like that guy. I don't like him. He gets angry when he gets drunk. He's an angry drunk. I don't like him.
Tony's like,
angry.
I'll talk to my friend and benefactor Iron Man and see if, because of our relationship with each other, not to each other, but with each other.
You don't think it's odd?
Put in a good word.
That you're friends with all of the other Avengers except for Iron Man.
I love that. Oh my god.
All right, what's another one?
All right, I got a companion piece to my first one.
Okay.
Ernie from Sesame Street.
Yes.
With Colonel Fitz from American Beauty, the next door neighbor dad.
Oh no.
Just see what happens with that.
Hey Bert, hey, what are you doing? You lifting weights? You lifting weights there? What are you doing there? Hey?
Can I play with your Luger? Colonel Fitz was the military dad who lived next door to Kevin Spacey in American Beauty. He had a Nazi prize collection of Nazi plates and Nazi guns and shit, like Nazi flags and shit.
Total
and
red flag for real.
He was a homophobic, closeted, gay, self-loathing gay guy.
Ugh.
I want to see him and Ernie
Oh, no.
eventually lifting weights together.
Hey, your son showed me his movie he made. Really pretty stuff. I think he should put it in a film festival.
You got a pretty good Ernie voice there.
I watch a lot of Sesame Street. Going on a tiger hunt. Going to catch a big. That is great and also horrifying. Like,
yeah, that one's not for children. The Bert and Rick one you could do.
I see you have a Nazi memorabilia collection. That's cool. I have a rubber duck and bottle cap collection.
I like that. I like the idea that Colonel Fitz might take some of Ernie's collection to show to his girlfriend, and then Ernie comes home super pissed and beats him. Sorry, and he says the same thing. The kid is like, "I'm sorry, I showed your Nazi bottle cap to my girlfriend."
How
funny would that be if Bert?
No.
I'm sorry, if Ernie is the repressed, angry one in that relationship and is taking it out on the homophobic Nazi the whole time, and the homophobic Nazi is the victim in that relationship.
Oh no! Have you ever? Okay, classically, Bert and Ernie Christmas Carol. They do the Gifts of the Magi. Where Bert trades his paper clip collection to get a soap dish for Ernie's rubber ducky, and Ernie trades his rubber ducky for a cigar box for Bert's paper clip collection. And Mr. Hooper, R.I.P. Mr. Hooper, he sees what they're doing and comes back and gives them their things, and it's this beautiful Gifts of the Magi. That, but with rubber duckies and Nazi paraphernalia.
It's funny because I know the excuse me, I know the Christmas episode, the Christmas special you're talking about.
Yeah.
And when you started talking about that, I was like, how is this going to translate into this? And I didn't really see that coming, but that was pretty good. That's pretty funny. Random, just because you said it, random. Matt Robinson was Gordon on Sesame Street. I thought it was Hooper, but it was the first Gordon on Sesame Street was
Right on.
Holly Robinson Pete's father. Did you know that?
What?
You know who Holly Robinson Pete is?
No, wait. You're saying too many first names.
Holly Robinson Pete was one of the actresses in 21 Jump Street who also sang the theme song. Same thing she did in Hanging with Mr. Cooper. For sure you know who she is if you look her up. Holly Robinson Pete.
Okay, I see her.
She, her dad, played the first Gordon in Sesame Street. And I didn't realize, I just said whatever his name, I think his name was Matt Gordon, I think I just said. I didn't realize that she had anything to do with that. I read something about that the other day, and I was like, oh, she literally is related to Sesame Street. I thought that was very interesting. And now we'll have a
Roscoe
Sesame Street
Orman,
thing
Hal
about it.
Miller, and Garrett Saunders. Gordon Robinson. Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Dude,
So,
Sesame Street was always badass. Like, I always loved Sesame Street. I think it's gotten weird as it's gotten later, but like when we were kids, Sesame Street was badass.
well, it's different now because it's still trying to keep us as an audience, which is not bad, and I understand the business model.
Yeah.
It had a certain flavor, though. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And you saying Mr. Hooper made me think of Gordon, which made me think of Holly Robinson Pete. And that's how I got from there to there.
Wow. Great. Are any of them
Seamless
roommates?
transition.
How about this? One of your
Holly
favorite
Robinson
characters.
Pete's roommate. Okay.
Too many
myself.
first names. Rorschach from Watchmen
Okay.
and Frank Castle the Punisher.
Now, I love Punisher, and he's not a very layered character, but I do think he's very difficult for people to get correct. And the funny, like the obvious joke to make is that Punisher would be shooting Rorschach every time he did something wrong and they had a disagreement. But that's not true. That's not what Punisher would do. However, I think they'd both be super fucking petty and super black and white about everything. Roomie and I have had arguments that ended up with us wrestling on the floor. There were no punches and we weren't trying to hurt each other. It was more of like a guerrilla type thing of, I'm just going to try to be on top of you so that you know I won this argument, which is like, I think it would be the same way, but with knives. But they wouldn't really try to kill each other. They'd more like, I want to get as close to killing you as I can so that you understand that you left the lid off the sour cream. And I'm upset about
exactly.
it.
The pent-up frustration from stupid roommate bullshit would leave them with busted lips and black eyes and just bloodying each other, and then them both sitting there like licking each other's blood off a knife and being like laughing hysterically and being like, God, it's two psychopaths, but like in a different kinds of psychopaths. They're both meticulous, but a different kind of meticulous. They're both like have a moral code, but a different kind of moral code. Both see the world in black and white, but their moral codes clash. It's one of those things. It's like their vigilante ethics actually kind of go against each other because like and it's like I do think that Frank Castle would hate Rorschach, and I think Rorschach would be very into the Frank Castle of it all.
Oh, so you in your Ruby situation, you think that Rorschach is like liking living with Frank Castle and thinks it's cool and is always like, hey Frank, and he like wants to talk to him and Frank Castle can't stand him?
Kind of. Yes, in a way. But Frank Castle's like, I need to study the blueprints to this bar where these guys are going to be and have an escape route. And Rorschach's like, I'm just going to walk in the front door and start shooting.
Yeah, punch the guy.
Like, I'm gonna be and Frank Castle would get so annoyed with Rorschach's like psychobabble because Rorschach would be like, the deepest world of the bleeding heart of the
Yeah.
snow on a cold night, the footprints of the pain I feel are left in solid ice. And he's like, what are you, that doesn't make sense, dude. Talk like a normal person. Do you want pepperoni or mushrooms?
I like the idea of like the camera starts like down in the gutter, like in the movie and in the comic, right? And it slowly comes up the building, and Rorschach is crouched on top in the rain, and he's talking about this city is a cesspool, the blood from busted corpses, drains, etc., etc., etc. And look, goes all the way up to Rorschach, and he's like, and they'll look up and scream, "Help us!" And I'll whisper, "No." And then it cuts to like a mob boss just sitting at a table. Hey, oh, hey! Punisher just walks in silently, gun to the head, blows them away, and walks out of the room.
Yeah.
What did you do last night? And then it pans up to Rorschach with that long soliloquy. What did you do last night? Boom!
Also, Rorschach would live in a like squalor. Like his side of the apartment, he's never cleaned. It's like
oh yeah, you're right.
It's just piles of takeout containers, carry out Chinese containers, pizza boxes. He's living with the rats and being creepy. And like Frank Castle has this like meticulously laid out chain link fence, weapons organized,
Yeah.
clean. Everything is like pristine. And he's just like, keep that shit in your room, dude.
Yeah.
The common spaces, no rats. Just say
The only overlap is in the trench coat station. Like that's the only part where they're like, "Can I borrow that?" Okay.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man, and Rorschach can do the little skull face on his little like his chain.
I was just gonna say, here's an idea that for real could sell that idea as a comic. Think about the two's symbols, right? The Punisher skull and Rorschach's moving black and white mask. Marry those two together, mash those two images up. You could sell that comic idea with just that image, right?
sick, right? Yeah,
It actually would be pretty fucking awesome.
Punisher skull in smashed ink, and then sick. So
It
sick.
would be pretty. I would read the comic based off that. But I love the idea of them. First, I was gonna make a joke about like, have you seen my Beretta? Well, yeah, I put it back. Well, you didn't put it back because this is where I keep the Beretta.
The perfect little space. There's a shadow there.
On the gun rack and the fence. No, this is where I keep the. Look, man, I thought I put it there. Well, it's got to be here somewhere. And then Rorschach's just like, Herm. But I like the idea even more about regular roommate discussions between them. So, like, like the sour cream thing.
Yeah.
Be like, I just like the idea of like Rorschach being like, dishes piling in the sink. I did dishes last week. I've noticed that it's been a while since you've done dishes. When do you think dishes might be done?
The stench of mildew building up beneath the plates, soiled cream cheese stuck to the edge, like a soul crawling out of the depths of hell. Like, what are you talking about?
2 cereal bowls encrusted with the carcasses of Fruity Pebbles. They look up at me and scream, "Clean me." And I look down and whisper, "No." Those are Frank's dishes.
Frank's turn.
I also would love to see their refrigerator. Like, I don't really actually think either of them would put magnets on the refrigerator and stuff. But like, what magnets would they buy to post things on the refrigerator? And also, what would they put up there,
Well, first of all, there's a Hell's Kitchen, Stormy, Murdoch, and Foggy and Murdoch. Law. What's the law firm?
Well, for Foggy now. Foggy Nelson and Murdoch. Nelson and
Nelson
Murdoch.
Nelson
Yeah, I
and
don't know why I
Murdoch
couldn't
law
get that out of my
firm
mouth.
on a magnet. Definitely got to have
Sure.
that up
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Sticking to the one that's like, you forgot to take out the trash. And then that's definitely one, a pizza place for sure. Some Hell's Kitchen stuff. I think it's a lot of stuff Frank does. I think if there's any magnets that Rorschach uses, it's just the
Rorschach
alphabet
uses
magnets.
condiments. Like a glob of ketchup is what he uses to adhere things to a refrigerator, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, their neighbor who's like way too chummy and happy and it's like, hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, I'm going out of town next week and you mind watching my dogs? And they both immediately have a flashback where they're like, Rorschach, wasn't he always thinking about that dog he saw with the
Yeah.
split head or something?
Yeah. Oh man.
And I don't remember specifically a dog moment for Frank, but I'm sure he's got one, guaranteed. That's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I like that.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about some of these. These are funny.
All right. How about this one is really just a headline joke, but I bet you we can come up with funnier things than just the starting idea. But it's got to be a big size room, and you put Jabba the Hutt from Return of the Jedi and Pizza the Hutt from Spaceballs.
Oh, I mean,
You're going to have one roommate left after the first day, right?
Jabba's eating pizza for sure. I mean, we're
I
all
watched-
eating pizza.
I watched Spaceballs recently with Kent, and he loved Jabba the Hutt, or Pizza the Hutt, rather. But I had to explain the idea of why Pizza the Hut was funny because he doesn't know what Pizza Hut is. Even though, no joke, I could hit a Pizza Hut with a softball from our house. It's pretty close, but we never have gone there. So he has no clue. So I had to explain that was a restaurant that at the time we all knew. So it was a very easy, low hanging fruit pun joke, and he kind of like Roomie's man bun thing. But once he got that concept, he thought it was hysterical. And because of that, I've been thinking a lot about Pizza the Hut lately. That was actually one of the first ones I thought of was Jabba and pizza.
That's also funny and cramped quarters, man. Also awful bathroom, horrible. Just
Well, it's funny because when you said that, the first thing that my mind thought was a human toilet, which I don't know. We've seen how many Star Wars movies now? How many toilets have we seen? I know I had a Mad magazine, or a Cracked magazine, actually, that had a Star Wars issue, and they had a joke about alien bathrooms, and they had a bunch of different looking toilets. But what kind of toilet would a Jabba... What kind of... or any kind of hut, a pizza or a Jabba?
What do you think the Gomorian guards are for, man? They're just fucking hut shit shovelers. You know?
You have to work your way up to be the one with the spear at the door.
Yeah.
That's the height of Gomorian guards.
Yeah, you're just a shit shoveler. You and a weak way.
I would like the same thing as I said before about the dinosaurs attacks. Can you imagine if like I could go back in time to little Matt watching Return of the Jedi for already, he's 7 years old and he's already seen this movie 100 times. Be like, see those green pig guys? And little know-it-all Matt would be like, yeah, the Gomorian guards. She'd be like, yeah, in 40 years, you're going to be on kind of like this thing called the internet, but it's going to be like the radio, but don't worry about it. And like a couple hundred people are going to listen to you talk about Gomorian guards shoveling Jabba the Hutt poop. Oh, I would think that was so awesome. I would be like, I get to do that? You're like, yeah, but you don't make a lot of money. And you're like, but people listen to me talk about Jabba the Hutt's poop?
Yeah,
dude.
One of your best homies laughs maniacally when you
Wait,
say
and I'm not even going to tell you what you guys say about pizza toppings. You'll get there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Shit shoveling for Jabba the Hutt is a terrible job, but it's real. It's a job. It is one. Okay. So you remember Tales from Jabba's Palace?
Do I what?
Remember Tales from Jabba's Palace, the book?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
there was a supplement that was like deleted and rejected stories, and one of them was shit shoveling Gamorrean guards.
You had me. I was actually eating that up for a second. Not the shit,
Yeah.
but
The original editor was like, "Why are you guys all sending in the different bathrooms at Jabba's
there's
palace?
a lot of fanfic about Jabba's palace bathrooms.
Tales from Jabba's palace's bathrooms."
Oh man. It just shows that there is a lot of that expanded universe that remains untapped, you know?
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that we don't know about. We don't need another Skywalker film. We need a janitorial. We want to go we want to go to a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, but in the bathroom.
just want to know. I want to know how all these creatures. What are they doing? How do they do it? Tell me.
Jabba can't wipe himself. I mean, I don't know where any
No,
holes are, but
he's a fat slug monster. He just
enter Salacious Crumb. They were gonna call him Salacious Dingleberry, but he couldn't. Kenner rejected that because it would go right across the entire card.
I mean, it wasn't until I got the toy from the original Jabba the Hutt toy that I could turn around and see his little buns. If you get any Jabba toy, I guarantee you, go pick up your Jabba toy from the closet. You turn around, he's got a tiny little butt on the back.
A
You
little
never seen
butt.
that? Like a little one, like an itty bitty little butt right on his back. Go get your toy right now.
I just
Okay.
bought Kent that whole a full complete set of that a week ago at Comic-Con.
Sick. Now
He loved it.
Hold on. While those people went and checked their toy, it was a total joke. He doesn't have
Yeah,
a butt.
he does not have a butt.
So now that you are back and realize he doesn't have a butt, gotcha.
Jabba's kind of one big butt, you know? Pizza would be as well, I think. We don't see as much of the Pizza the Hut costume as we did of the Jabba costume, but I feel like it would be pretty similar in aesthetic.
Pizza the
And
Hut
biology.
is one of those characters that I need more development of Pizza Hut's palace. I want to see like what other food related creatures live there, you know?
No, I thought you meant of the actual architecture of the building itself. Like imagine Jabba's palace, but with things that we remember from Pizza Hut. So like those dirty looking dark stained glass lamps all over the place. Everyone's drinking from those coral crushed red plastic cups, right?
There's a smoking section that is doing nothing to segregate us from the disgusting nicotine smoke floating over to the non-smoking section. It's purely just locale because smoke travels. Guys.
You know what my favorite part of this whole thing would be is as Boba Fett walks over and what's Princess Leia's bounty hunter persona?
Ouch.
That's how I pronounce it too, but I wasn't sure. Kent and I talked a lot about that the other day.
Yeah.
Coming home from that Comic-Con.
Oh,
But you know,
yeah.
when Bausch threatens everyone with the thermal detonator and him and Jabba or she and Jabba agree on the price and she puts the detonator away, Boba Fett looks at Bausch and gives her like a game recognized game nod.
Mm-hmm.
In that scene in Pizza Hut, like the pizza Boba Fett, when he nods, you see all the Wookiee scalps that he's got hanging there, but he also has a book it pin.
That's fucking funny.
Right? That would be cool.
Look at it. So we watched Sammy had a dance recital last weekend.
I saw pictures of her. She looked adorable.
Adorable. She's dressed as a little Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
That's what I thought.
Dance recital, 4 hours long. She's in 3 minutes of that.
You got hosed.
And look, super talented. Clap, 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 clap. Standing ovation. Great job, kids. I'm proud of you. y'all did like multiple dances. One, you get one. I don't need to see the same 5 kids do 6 different dances. It was all very well done. You're very talented, but I'm here to see my kid do one dance. And then I tolerate the rest of it.
Why didn't they 4 hours? They didn't break that apart a little?
There was an intermission.
That oh, you mean a missed escape opportunity? That's what you mean.
Yeah, but they keep your kid. You're held hostage.
No, at that point it's every man for himself. Dorothy's got to figure it out.
So she didn't know what Dorothy was. She knows Wicked. She watched Wicked with her cousins. So I was like, "Do you want to watch Wizard of Oz?" She's like, "Yes, I do." So we watched the original OG timeless classic Wizard of Oz, and she was pretty into it. There's a moment when the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow dress up as OEO guys and sneak into the palace. And she's like, "Are they in a disguise?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What other movie do we watch where our heroes dress in disguise to get into a secret fortress?" And she thinks about it and she goes, "Lando." I was like, "Well, I'm thinking of somebody else dressing up as a stormtrooper." And she's like, "Leia." I was like, "I'm thinking of Han and Luke." And she goes, "No, Leia and Lando got in disguise to go to Jabba's palace." And I was like, "Damn it, you're right."
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the OG Star Wars.
It's a lot of
was thinking
disguising.
She nailed it. And I was like, "I'm so proud of you for knowing."
I was
you
waiting
got
for her to
that.
be like, well, Luke also disguised himself as an Imperial guard, and Chewbacca disguised himself as a bounty hunter. And you're like, shit, you pulling out some Shadows of the Empire disguises?
She's like, "Yeah, I'm already on to the Timothy Zahn trilogy. Where are you?"
Yeah. There's actually a lot of disguising in Star Wars. Star Wars has a lot more of those grab the guys and pull them over the table and then you
Whoa.
come out in their costume. Way more than you think.
Yep. I love it. I think it's my turn. Do we
It is. Let's do seamless transition. Let's get back to some roommates.
transition? Mm, 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 mm. Um, do you want? I have a lady roommate duo or a fun classic '80s horror comedy sci-fi duo.
Do your ladies, I'll do mine, and then comedy sci-fi as our
After.
finale.
Okay, great. Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family and Daria from MTV.
Oh, nice. I think it would be a more positive environment to live with Bert and Rick.
What if there was a third roommate added? Lydia Dietz.
Ooh, okay. Lydia Dietz. I feel like eventually Lydia and Wednesday would kind of like team up, and Daria would be the one that would be left
Ousted.
out more.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
you
yeah.
think?
Well-
Like eventually Wednesday and Lydia would go to the movies and purposely not invite Daria, but not say that, not make an excuse, but like by reason of not saying anything, try to lie about it, right? Like by omitting that they did it, they'd be lying.
I think the thing is like their personalities with Daria fit.
Sure.
But it's just dripping with sarcasm. But Daria needs something to bitch about, and she'd be like, "My 2 roommates brought home a guillotine, like a working guillotine. Can you believe that? It's in the living room right now, and I can't even walk past it without thinking about 7th grade French history." Like, right? Like she just but secretly she's like, "Guillotine's pretty cool." She's just not a goth.
Yeah.
She's like, "I would totally be a goth if it wasn't for the other goths." Like
This apartment already has too many goths.
yeah, she's like, "I would like Donnie Darko, but my roommates already like Donnie Darko."
I also like to think that like Wednesday would march in and slam Lydia's door open and be like, were you using my guillotine? And there's all these doll heads in her room, and she's like, no. I told you not to touch my things. I didn't touch your stupid guillotine. Oh, really?
Told you not to touch my things. I did a hand joke. It's there, you know.
Gotta watch the show. That was good. That was
Um,
good.
yeah.
Told you not to touch my things. Was that not? Was that? It had to have been in the Netflix show, right?
Yeah, thing was in the Netflix
No,
show.
but that joke seems like such a
Oh.
great joke to make.
Yeah, right. I also feel like Lydia Dietz would just be like such a downer, and we have to. I don't know at what point we're meeting Lydia Dietz. Is it like pre Beetlejuice? Like, I think Wednesday Addams would be way in. Wait, you met a horny demon from a different dimension?
No, it's Lydia Dietz from the cartoon, and she's always palling around with him. And one of the other roommates becomes interested in him, and then Lydia is like, "No, don't date my friends." And like, there's arguments because of that, you know.
Daria would just be like, she's like, my roommate Wednesday started dating Lydia's scuzzy friend Beetlejuice. Ugh, he's always hanging around. It's just like you say his name and then he's there. Like, ew, he's got bugs for teeth.
I don't want you to have Beetlejuice over tonight. Poof, he's already here. And she's like, "Sorry, I already said his name twice before I asked you."
All right, what are we doing tonight? We're getting pizza, we hanging out, we going to a bar, let's go.
Honk, honk.
Dario would be so unimpressed with fucking.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like that would actually get under Beetlejuice's skin, and he would try harder too. Because I feel like even in death, he's that friend that wants to be the edgy one that says the things and honks his balls and wants you to be grossed out. And I think if you weren't, that would make him upset, and he would try harder to do it, right?
What was Daria's friend Jane?
With the hair?
Lane. Yeah, Jane and Daria are hanging out, and Beetlejuice shows up, and they're just like, just so utterly unimpressed. Here's what I'll say about Daria. I would have never chosen to watch that show. It just was like, oh, MTV. I'm not really supposed to watch MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn it on, and Daria's the show that's on. You're like, I'm watching it. I'm watching MTV, and it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it isn't a show I would have chosen to watch or chosen to like. But then as I got older, I was like, I get where she's coming from.
I've actually never seen an episode, not a single one. I know it. I know who
Really?
the characters are. I know the gist of it. I know enough to have made this joke and this skit work, but
You did.
never saw it before. Yeah.
It is it's like King of the Hill, but with like goth kids.
Right.
But pre-goth, like they're hipsters, you know. They're not even goth kids, but it fits.
I was more of the head guy. Remember that?
Oh, that was weird.
And Eon
man.
Flux.
That
I watched
shit was
some.
real
I watched
weird.
a lot of Eon Flux as a kid, and then I bought the DVD set and watched it. And was like, whoa.
Whoa, yeah, we watched that. Holy
Where
cow.
were my parents?
Like when the fly lands and she's like,
Yeah.
catches it in her boobs. I mean, that show was like it was drawn way too sexy, but in like a way that was grotesque.
And I was gonna say an angular and a
But
very
yeah.
skinny angular sexy.
Like too muscular in a way that I don't know. So weird. Yeah.
Yeah, sexy strong toothpick kind of
There's
situation.
also a really morbid joke you could say about that roommate situation, but I'm not even gonna go there. But Lydia Dietz
Yeah.
had some pretty dark proclivities. so-
Trigger warnings.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
Well, you
A
did better than
sad
me.
ne-
I was
a
trying
sad
to think of
newspaper article
two.
away.
I was trying to think of two super sexy, super sexual. What would you call it? Sexual orientation ambiguous girls to put together in a room just for a lesbian joke, and I was like, that's not even worth thinking of two hot lesbian characters to think of, and I stopped. But I still want credit for the joke, which is why I explained it.
Okay.
I actually, well, no, it's not a girl. I have I have a multi-gender roommate situation for my next one. I have one boy and one girl,
Hit 'em
but
up.
it's not going to be anything sexual because they are both young. I got 2 kids. I've got Cartman from South Park,
Oh Lord.
and he's rooming with Rhoda Penmark from The Bad Seed. Can you imagine? I feel like they would hate each other just like Bert and Rick and just like the girls you described. But then I think they would realize that they both hate everybody else. And I think their disdain for everybody else and their evil selfishness would unite them into like almost like
It's breaking
an
my
Akira type monster.
it's breaking my brain. If Cartman doesn't get her killed first and think it's funny, she is going to manipulate him into killing people for her.
Well, because she's definitely, like, if you think about it, she's smarter than Cartman. Although Cartman has done a couple things that were evil and were a long game, right? Or like he can do that. But I think she might be a smarter, and like you said, that I think the manipulation there is probably the
Because
key.
he is one of the most manipulative characters to ever exist, but let's just play it as like childhood innocent crush. He's like, "Oh my god, a girl." And I kind of got a crush on her because she kills people, but I'm going to be mean to her because I'm a dick little boy.
Yeah, because
Like,
that's how I show any emotion.
exactly. And she knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Cartman, for all his evilness and all his shittiness, he still has the foils of a child. And I think Rhoda Penmark would manipulate that. I think that's where she'd get him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
God.
Also, metaphorically as well as literally, he is a cartoon. Like all of his shit, everything we've seen him do is very cartoony. She is a sociopath.
She
is a
lured somebody
self-centered
down in the basement and lit him on
right.
fire.
She is a narcissistic sociopath who literally murders because she doesn't care about human life if it contradicts something that she wants.
Yeah.
Whereas Cartman has like more almost like supervillain schemes, which even though are evil and have resulted in death, they're funny and they're like you can shrug it off as like that's our Cartman. You wouldn't have that feeling about Rhoda because it's way more grounded in true mental health illness.
And Rhoda's like, "Hey, Cartman, bring your little friend Butters over. Lou, I got some apples." And then they murder Butters together. That's fucked up.
And she would totally do it. And I think that would be awesome, though, because in that episode, Butters gets murdered, but in such a way that whether Cartman actually did it or how much he participated, her hands would be clean. And she would pin it on him with glee. And I think that would make him fall for her even harder,
more. I was just going to say, guys, I'm in love. Oh my God, guys, I'm in love. She's so cool. She murdered Butters. It's amazing. Like he would
and as he's saying that, the camera pulls back and he's on a prison phone behind bars, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Man. Wow. That's a good one.
And I think they would probably be in the same apartment complex as Rorschach and Punisher, don't you think?
Yes, living in squalor, just trying to make because they're children. All right, how about this? I got a bunch of them still. How about
I do too. This could be a multi-parter if you want. We can either do 2 back to back or just hit this up later if you want.
Well, they are going downhill, but
so that's like when you're about to say something, we're like, buckle your safety belts. You were just like, you guys can. It's like when the pilot on a plane tells you can take your seatbelt off. Don't worry about it. This isn't going to be our A material, guys. So you can like go in the other room and do some shit if you need to.
Yeah, because I'm looking through it. Okay, this is the best one I have left. This will be my last one.
All right.
Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise
Mm-hmm.
and Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. They're both
Ooh.
smart-ass supernatural warriors who are like just bizarrely horny in an inappropriate way, and one has a chainsaw hand, the other has a proton pack, and I just think they're so sarcastic that it would be hysterical to hear Peter Venkman tell like hey, so you got a chainsaw for your hand, does that ever cause any problems when it makes like a jerk off joke?
Yeah.
Like,
So you're thinking Venkman from the films, not Venkman from the cartoons or anything, right? You're thinking
yeah.
specifically from
I'm
the
thinking
movies.
specifically Bill Murray and Bruce Campbell as roommates, and yeah, amazing.
Okay. So immediately, the thing that I'm thinking of is, and we all know this person, there's usually a person in a larger friend group who thinks that they are the funniest one, and they need to outshine everybody in the attention-grabbing, attention-seeking behavior. And I'll say that I might be that person sometimes, but there are people who I think are more obnoxious than I am about grabbing attention. And I'm open to debate for that if anyone wants to. But at least I'm self-realized enough.
You're
that
making progress, Roomy. At
I
least
was
now
gonna
you're
say, at
admitting it.
least- But I think that Peter Venkman, anytime he is with a bunch of people, he wants everyone to look at him and he wants everyone to think that he's the funniest.
Yeah.
And I think that at least in Army of Darkness, Ash is the same. And I think if you put two of those people in the same crowd, you're going to have problems because each is trying to be the alpha comedian.
Yes.
And it's only like, it's not going to be entertaining as in like a comedic duel where you're getting two great performances that keep outdoing each other. You just have two obnoxious people grabbing your eyes and your ears and pulling them towards you, you know?
Oh, they're just both trying to give you their best tight five. And then, like, Ash Williams gets attacked in a Three Stooges montage with some tiny skeleton hands while Bill Murray laughs and then finally gets him off of him with a proton pack. Like, it would be insufferable. Like, I love Ghostbusters. Love Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of screen time that Peter Venkman gets in both those movies is the perfect amount. Anymore. It's like one of those things, like when you're watching a celebrity in an interview and they start talking and you're like, oh no, are you about to get canceled right now? Like, are you like Peter Venkman is that close from, if he had any more screen time, you'd be like, oh, he's kind of a creep. He almost doesn't get away with that. Multiple times in this movie, you're like, ooh,
is he a type of a predator? Like,
is he kind of a creep?
Is this okay?
But then they cut away, and you're like, he's
probably fine. He's harmless. It's no big deal.
Yeah, Dana Barrett can hold her on. It is. he is borderline a creep, if not a full-on creep, and I think that if we gave him more screen time, it would ruin that illusion.
He would go to jail.
100%.
Or at least have more restraining orders than a Ghostbuster should
orders.
have.
And 100% Ash Williams is in the same boat. But they would order with their last $20 some shitty Chinese food and have a lot of really funny things to say as they got drunk together. So I'm down for that.
Oh, I would watch the episode where they got drunk together. For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and they start comparing like scars, like Kandarian Demon. He's like,
I'll drink to your leg, you drink to my leg.
Yeah. What would be a funny thing for Peter Venkman to say? He's like bellhop at the Plaza Hotel. Like
I like the situation too where they're either trapped somewhere or go to investigate something together where you have a demon and a ghost, but swap the protagonists, right? So you have Ash fighting a ghost with a sawed-off shotgun and a saw hand for all the good that'll do. And then you have Venkman trying to trap and zap a zombie or a demonoid.
And then
they have to work together. They have to ask each other for help.
They're both bit comedians, though. Like Bruce Campbell is all about bits, like little vaudeville bits, and Peter Venkman, Bill Murray is like sarcastic reactions to that. I think that's. I don't know. Now I want to see it. Oh, I might have one more. Do you got any more? Oh, you're listening intently. Somebody's talking in your ear.
My kid is sick with a fever and he's having a night terror. I'm just trying to gauge if it's like a real bad one
Oh,
or if it's a Kandarian demon situation.
Ring ring. Bust in there with a chainsaw. That'll wake him up. Hush, little baby, have your night terror. Daddy's got to go talk about.
Hang on 1 second.
Jabba the Hutt having a poop. All right, man. You got any more roommates?
Yeah. Handsome, strong, redhead. Douchebag with a man bun.
Which one are you?
I actually do have a couple, but like I think if I have a couple and you have a couple, let's save them. Let's do it either another episode, whether it's our next episode consecutively or we save it for a follow-up, because I feel like for what we thought was going to be a throwaway topic, we made it seem like this was pretty funny.
Cracked me I cracked up quite a bit. Yeah, that was a good.
And there's room to grow here. I have a couple more that we could do for sure.
And now that it's in my head, I'm going to think of more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be great.
I even have I have one or two. I have one that is the same character, but two different iterations of them. You know what I mean? Same character, but two different versions, which is actually like, I don't want to throw that out there. I might want to develop it a little bit more because I think it could be pretty.
Now that like we started, I was thinking about, can I find two different characters played by the same actor?
I was thinking that as well, and I hadn't get to that one this time.
So like you have the same person but two different characters. All right. So guys, let us know if you have any roommate ideas that we can throw up onto our list and talk about when we do this again.
Throw up. You could get The Exorcist and Problem Child too. But I think he was saying, let us know if you guys have some ideas, what you'd want us to throw up. Who would be your roommates from pop culture to go into a roommate situation together?
Oh, this is great. Yeah, I need an influencer house with these characters. Just making content. I like your Care Bear cup.
I have a Spawn t-shirt on, and I'm drinking out of a old school 80s Care Bear cup.
And you make fun of me for having a man bun. Oh,
hell yeah. At least I can put the cup in the dishwasher. I bought this cup. It's not growing out of my head.
Well, that would be a real skill now, wouldn't it?
I didn't. This is a shout out to my kindergarten grade level partner who said, because she knows that I like Cheer Bear. That's my favorite. You have a favorite Care Bear?
Lucky Bear.
Yeah? Let's see. Oh, look. Cheer Bear's, not next to him, but Cheer Bear's there. Are Care Bears boys or girls?
Asexual beings.
You think so?
Yeah.
A little bit of both?
They reproduce with eggs.
You should have said like all bears. Like all bears, they reproduce with eggs.
Like all bears, the men carry the baby and the females fertilize the egg sac.
The female bears swim by and fertilize the eggs.
Yep, and the male bears carry them to fruition, just like all sea bears, horses.
Right now, every single person who's somehow made it this deep into the episode is checking to see what their fucking iPod is playing. They're like, wait, what? What am I listening to? Like, did they change episodes or change shows? What is this?
It's a hat on a hat, y'all. Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and whatever they're calling it now. God, I hate that platform. At Launchpad Pod on our website, launchpadpod.com, and on YouTube. Check it out. Oh, yeah. Thanks to everybody who listened to our episode about the Joker. And to do another shameless plug, my Saturday show, The Half Hour of Horror with Aaron McLean, thanks to everybody who listened to my special Robo episode with Kelly Maroney.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, super awesome. So thanks, and big shout out to everybody who checked that out. So appreciate it. And Roomie, there's only thing left for us to do.
I'll do one more shameful plug.
Do it.
We have 2 Comic-Con panels
Yeah,
on Friday.
You
I'm
better be
ashamed.
there.
Come, it's going to be fun. We're going to have fun stuff. Me and Roomy still ironing out a couple details, but it'll be that Friday, the 25th, and keep it tuned right here, and we'll tell you more details as we get closer. But it's going to be a fun summer, y'all.
Woo woo! Let's blast this thing off. We're the Rocketeers, and we are out.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.